Well, shock horror, what do we have here? Victoria to enter 5-day circuit breaker lockdown from 11:59 p.m. today. That is Friday night, the 12th, end of the 12th of February, in the middle of the Australian Tennis Open. You are kidding me. Before I play the video of this horrid piece of garbage, let's just read what it says. Victoria will plunge into a stage 4 restrictions 5-day snap lockdown from 11:59 today until Wednesday. Horror Andrews has confirmed. Well, you can guarantee that'll go more than 5 days. Guarantee. Guarantee. I called this just before the Vaseline rollout. After days and months, few months of zero cases. Zero cases. We're not even talking deaths. This is a pandemic. We're not talking about people dropping dead in the street. But when I play the video, you'll see how many cases has caused this. And we're talking stage 4. And I'll read on. I'll show you what stage 4 is. Victorians will only be allowed to leave their homes for 4 reasons: shopping for essentials, giving care, essential work and education, and exercise with household members only. Masks must be worn everywhere. Big deal they are anyway. Andrews said the government had to act out of an abundance of caution. Oh, caution, you are got to be kidding. No, act on the script that's been given you at least 12 months ago to prevent a third wave of BS19. Today's announcements are not about dealing with a third wave. They are about making the difficult choices to prevent a third wave. Well, guaranteed there will be a third wave because it's part of the script. We have a lot to be proud of. Here goes the sucking, as they always do. Proud as a community. We know what to do. We are the only place in the world to have defeated a second wave. Oh, listen to this crap. Here it is. Here it is. What? Activity. Leave home, going out. The circuit breaker action. Stay at home unless shopping. I went through all that. Exercise for 2 hours. Travel. Cannot go beyond 5 kilometres from primary residence for permitted reasons. We aren't allowed to go out of 5 kilometres. Mask must be worn at all times except in the home. People probably wear them in the home. Outdoor public gatherings not permitted. Visitors not permitted. Intimate partners allowed. Children and early education open. So childcare and early education open. Schools closed except to vulnerable children or children of essential workers. Adult education closed. Remote learning only. Work from home if you can. Hospitality, restaurants, cafes, bars, pubs closed except for takeaway. Play centres, indoor skate parks, indoor trampoline centres closed. General retail closed. Hairdressers closed. Beauty salons, treatments, personal care closed. Real estate inspections, auctions online only. Supermarkets, shopping limits open. Of course, supermarkets are fine. Supermarkets, shopping limits open. Of course, we've got to look after the big guys. We've got to look after the big corporations, the criminals. Open. Shopping 1 person per household, once per day. Support person can accompany where required. Outdoor physical recreation and sport closed. Well, there goes my cricket umpiring tomorrow. Swimming pools, hydrotherapy pools, blah, 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 closed. Exercise 2 hours a day only with a household, intimate partner or 1 other person. Gyms closed. Outdoor playgrounds open. Oh, my God. Community facilities closed. Creative studios closed. Weddings not permitted unless end of life or other exceptional circumstances. What do you mean end of life? It's a wedding, for God's sake. Well, I suppose that's the end of life. So if you booked a wedding, months ago for tomorrow, guests to come from all over the place, the church, the catering, the reception, sorry, ain't on. You burnt your money. Funerals, no more than 10 people. Oh, how kind of them. Religion, place of worship, no in-person gatherings. Entertainment, closed. Professional athletes defined as essential workers. Blah, blah, blah. It's okay, yeah, for professional sporting events can go ahead without spectators. Yeah, the tennis open could go ahead. Oh, we're going to look after all these highly paid clowns that come from all around the world to play in the Australian Tennis Open. Oh, we're going to have that. You know, we're going to look after the mans. They're Serena Williams, you know. Who knows what they're going to still roll out with that shit. Care facilities not permitted except for end of life. Hospital visitors not permitted except for end of life. Australian Open permitted without spectators. The lockdown deliberations come as the Holiday Inn cluster grew to 13 cases overnight, now spreading beyond the hotel quarantine program. It's funny how the only place that we get these, clusters, positive tests is in quarantine hotels, and they're connected with the tennis. Nowhere else, but no one's dying, like I said. But they can mention any cases. There's no names. You don't have to prove any names. Just make it up, and people will fall for it. That's the thing with the tennis. If they're going to, like I keep saying, they're going to use the tennis, you probably have to actually mention names of players, trainers, support staff, and that's maybe a little bit more difficult. But if you can use Tom Hanks to fake bring it into Australia, I suppose you can use that for any sellout in this Australian Open. The latest 5 new cases linked at Holiday Inn include a hotel worker and spouses of other hotel workers, marking the first infections outside of the hotel quarantine system. Australian Open will still go ahead, but with no crowds. And of course, they show the greatest male tennis player of all time, Serena Williams. Victoria will enter stage 4, blah, blah, blah. We'll only be able to leave. We've gone through all that. There's the horror ahead. And look at this shit they show. Yeah, we've gone through all that. We won't worry about that. And this, another absolute horror. I won't say too much because I don't want this to be, harassment or, what do you call it? Hate speech, whatever that YouTube wants to put on us. All right. Here we go. Let's play what this idiot's got to say.
In the last 24 hours, there have been 5 cases of coronavirus notified to the Department of Health. These include 3 cases that were announced yesterday afternoon.
So what?
All are primary close contacts of confirmed Holiday Inn cases. There are now 19.
So what?
In Victoria.
Going to say, some countries have 2,000 a day, and we got 5. Sorry.
Some 24,209 test results were received today.
24,000 people tested in 24 hours. Bullshit.
That now takes the total up to 4.652 million tests.
4.65 million out of 6 million people in Victoria. That doesn't mean 4.65 people actually got tested. Maybe some people got tested, once, 2, twice, 10 times. That means nothing. And as we know, they're not tests. They're not tests. They're just, collecting RNA and DNA and sending off the data to good old Chinatown. So, like I said, if it's a real pandemic, we'd be tested every day. Every single person will be tested every day. Because I might test negative today, but tomorrow I'll be positive. So the tests are useless unless we test them every day.
Results that we've received since the beginning of this global pandemic, can I personally and profoundly express my gratitude and give my thanks to those 24,000 Victorians who got tested yesterday.
That's what he does. Not just him, but all these clowns. They suck the people out there. Oh, thank you. You're doing a great job. Thanks for getting tested. Oh, it's so wonderful what you're doing, and we're all fighting this together. The same shit, and people get emotionally attached and think that this guy is doing a great job saving our lives. Oh, nothing could be further from the truth.
That is critically important, and again, I just send a message to every single Victorian. The one really critically important thing that you can do is to get tested as soon as you register.
Get tested. That's what it's all about.
That is the most important thing to do in order to keep your family safe, and indeed every family safe.
Oh, bullshit, safe.
Now, Victorians will be well familiar with the term UK strain.
Here we go.
UK variant of concern. We have talked about this for...
It just so happens to arrive in Australia, this bullshit strain. So what happened to the old strain? Yeah? The one that all the Vaselines were tested on, that we're going to use? Or we got a Vaseline for the new strain, like in the last month, have we?
A long time, because it is so hyper-infectious and moves so
Yeah,
fast.
right. Fear.
Very, very real challenge to our stats, our stay safe, stay open, our precious thing that we've built.
How can we listen to this piece of shit?
Throughout 2020. Now, whilst we don't have cases outside those that were notified as possible close contacts, those who had been, by virtue of who they'd been with or where
It's
they'd
hard to
been,
watch this.
whilst it's not surprising that we're seeing extra cases within those groups, and in some respects it's pleasing that that's where those cases are, the way in which they are presenting is a very significant concern to us. If I can just give you a couple of examples.
Doesn't concern you, it's all a script. Amazingly, 3 months with 0 cases, then 28 days with 0 cases, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the rollout of the Vaseline, this comes on along. Yeah? You're telling me it's not scripted? Wake up, people.
I'll make the point this way. We are having cases test positive, and we, in rapid time, we get notified of that.
Cases mean nothing. 99.5% of cases are just a runny nose.
Positive test result. By the time we find that case as positive, they've already infected their close contacts.
Yeah.
Their family, people they live with, people they've spent time with.
We're told that you could get the test positive now in 15 minutes.
That makes it incredibly difficult to do contact tracing, because there is no gap, if you like, between when we have the first case.
Just, say this so
and potentially
people will believe it spreads.
The whole process, because of the hyper-infectivity and the speed at which this UK variant moves, the whole process has been condensed.
UK variant, don't you love
and
this
it is
shit?
Now, I am sad to have to report, it is the advice to me that we must assume that there are further cases in the community than we have positive results for, and that it is moving at a velocity that has not been seen anywhere in our country.
Oh, really?
Over the course of these last 12
What
months.
a lot of shit.
Now, what I'm about to announce is all based on public health advice.
A couple of clowns who are highly paid to push this bullshit.
The doctors who saw us do what no other part of the world has done, defeat a second wave, are the same doctors, the same scientists, the same experts that will see us avoid
same criminals.
a third wave. The challenge that I have, and the challenge that all of us will have to confront, is that if we wait for this theory that it might be out there might be more cases than we know about, if we wait for that to be proven correct, it will be too late. And then we will face the prospect of being locked down until a vaccination is rolled out. The vaccine is rolled out to vulnerable people, to a very large number of Victorians.
That's what it's all about, the Vaseline.
Community. That's months. That's not days or weeks, that's months. It's not a criticism, it's just it's a complex process.
We'll be locked down for months.
So, because this is so infectious and is moving so fast.
Oh, bullshit, moving fast. Where's it moving? What's moving?
I'm announcing, on advice from the Chief Health Officer and after a meeting of relevant Cabinet committees and the full Cabinet, that from 11:59 p.m. tonight, Victoria, all of Victoria, will go to stage 4 restrictions. And
how we put up with this is beyond me.
There probably won't be an exhaustive list. There will inevitably be questions that will be posed, and we'll deal with those throughout the day. But from 11:59 p.m. tonight until 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, so for 5 days, the following will occur. All
right, we've gone through all that. Yeah, told you this would happen. We're stuffed. We are completely stuffed.